Johnny,
Hola Mario, ¿qué tal?
bien, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, muy bien, gracias.
What's new? Ayer estaba Ezzy, lo vi en el Shield, le dije si quería venir a comer, me dijo, no tiene comida. Bueno,
No, no es que tiene comida, estaba invitado ya.
okay.
Lo invitaron y comió lo de Tayback
Sí.
y luego fue a lo de Moshe Blitz para lunch.
Okay.
Yeah, so, no va a tener problema, eso siempre lo van a invitar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leíste lo que te escribí del banco, ¿no? No puedo creer lo que estaba cerrado.
Hi, John.
¿Por qué estaba cerrado?
For lack of personnel.
Irony. Lack of personnel. That's never heard of it.
Espero que abran mañana.
Unbelievable. Yeah. Hi, Ernie.
Hi, Johnny. Good to see you.
Yeah. This time I can make it.
I know. I know. There's no Novish here tonight, Mario. Make sure you.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I did send the message.
Thank you. Tes Vav, Rosh Hashanah, Omer Aleph, 15. Man Shamis Le Da'od Basar Lakita. Who is the Man Omar where we decide, like if we have an etrog, what year is it in? Is it in the second year or is it in the third year of the Meiser cycle, where it depends? Remember, if in the second year, the second Meiser is Meiser Sheni. In the third year, it's Meiser Ani. So is it when it first buds? Is it when it's a shlish? So the Manda Amar that says we go after when you pluck it from the tree, that's Rabbi Gamliel. Uktani Shvat. Previously, the Manda Amar wanted to say that since an etrog is considered like a yerek, the Rosh Hashanah for Yerokos is Tishrei. But if Rabbi Gamliel holds you go Basar Lakita, it still says the Rosh Hashanah Shvat. Eliyat Marhachi Yitro. Rabbi Ravuna Aval Gav. Rabbi Gamliel etrog achar Lakita ki yerek. Even though Rabbi Gamliel said that etrog is like a vegetable, in that we decide which year it's in based on when you harvest it. Still, even though the Rosh Hashanah for Yerokos is Tishrei, Rosh Hashanah of an etrog is Shvat, because it's a fruit. Ma'ishna hasam diktani ma'isa shniya nechles l'shlishis. U'ma'ishna hacha diktani ma'isa shlishis nechles revius. One case they said, you don't know whether it's the second year going into the third year. The other case said it's the third year going into the fourth year, but what's the difference? So milsav agavurcha kamash malan. To teach me something else about agriculture. The esrog kasha leyoda. Esrog, during the Shemitah year, everyone goes into the field and touches it because all the orchards are hefker. Everybody can come in and take. So there's a lot of touch to the tree. It affects the tree so that it doesn't produce fruit until the third year, not the second year. Esrog, Rosh Hashanah Shelo Emasai. When is the Rosh Hashanah for an etrog tree? Amarle Shvat. Now, Shvat is, of course, a Jewish month, but it's also called the Tkufa of Shvat. Just like we have Tkufas Tammuz, right? The summer season. There's a Tkufa Shvat. So are we talking about Shvat the Chadoshim or Shvat the Tkufa? Amarle the Chadoshim. It's the Tkufa of Shvat being the month of Shvat. What if it's a leap year where you add an extra month? Where the Rosh Hashanah is still going to be Shvat. You have an etrog of the 6th year going into the 7th year. Pturim and Amaiser. It's Potim and Amaiser, like Peiros during Shemitah. You don't give Meiser and Trumas on produce during Shemitah. Upturim and Abir. However, even though that normally, if the fruits in the Shemitah year have not been eaten, you burn the remainder, Esrog is not considered part of that. However, Bashvish Nichtus Lishminis, you have an etrog that was in the 7th year, going into the 8th year, you get the Ptur of Meiser, but V'chayev is Bebir. But it's been because it actually grew in the Shemitah year. I understand this Seifa because you went L'chumra, L'reisha, Ptur Nabir Amai. Why are you being Makel? Because we don't go after Lakita when you pluck it. You go after when you first see the budding of the fruit. Well, if so, Techayv Meiser should be clearly a 6th year fruit, which is not Potter Meiser. Again, since during the etrog, during the Shemitah year, everybody can go into the orchard because it's hefker and touch all the fruit. Basically, everyone's going to go into that orchard during Shemitah and treat it as hefker. How could you be mechayiv meiser? However, Rav Hamnuna Omar Bashish he says no, that a 6th year etrog going into the Shvius is treated completely like a shishis, and you give meiser. However, Bashvius and Echnesses Lishminis Lo'ilam Shvius would be treated like a Shemitah fruit. Meisvei, Rab Shimon Yeroy Mishum Rab Shimon, Estrog Bashishish Nechnesses Lishvius, an estrog of the 6th year, going into the 7th year, Pturim and Amaiser, Upturim and Abir, the 2 kulas. She'en lecha davar shechai b'maiser elam kain gadol b'chiyuv v'nilkat b'chiyuv. A fruit or grain or wine is going to be chayv and meiser only if its complete growth was during a zman of chiyuv, which was in the 6th year, and it was also plucked in the 6th year. Ubashvich nechlezes l'shminis p'turim meiser p'turim nabir. Same thing. This din in Shemitah, that after the Zman Achil is over, you got to burn all the remaining fruit. That's only fruit that grew in Shemitah and was plucked in Shemitah. Now, what we just learned, Reisha Kashal Rav Hamnuna, who said each year anything that's in Shishis is Lolam Shishis, so it's Kashanim, and Sefer Kasha Ben Rav Hamnuna. So the Gemara explains Tanoi. It's really about Choikas Tanoi. The Tanya. Rav Yosi. Avtulmus Heid Mishum Chamisha Zkenim. Avtulmus testified in the name of 5 Zkenim. Etrog Achar Lakitos Meiser. You determine when to give Meiser, what type of Meiser to give, what year you pluck the etrog. Did you pluck it in the 6th year? Pluck it in the 7th year. If you plucked it in the 6th year, it's Chayv Meiser. If you plucked it in the 7th year, you're Potem in a Meiser. However, Rabbi Seinu Nimnu Be'usha, one of the takonos that were made in the city of Usha, after the Sanhedrin was goyle, said, Achar lechitoso bein lemeiser bein l'shvius. The din of whether you treat it with meiser, whether you treat it with shvius, goes after lekita. So first of all, shvius man dekar shmer. Who was talking about shmita here? We were talking about meiser. More answers. Chesrei mechser v'hachik tani. There were some words missing. We decide whether it's chayv and meiser and what year meiser it is based on its when you harvest it. But what year it's in, if it already buds in the Shemitah year, it's considered the Shemitah fruit. However, Rabbi Seinu Ninabush achar lakitoso bein lemeiser bein l'shvius. That's what the Chachamim and Usha changed and said. We go after when we harvest it, both to determine whether it's chayv or potter in meiser, or whether it's in the Shemitah year. Itmar Rav Yechim Reish Lakish Amar Tavayu. Esrog Bashishi Shenichlas L'Shvius, and Esrog in the 6th year going into the 7th L'Olam Shishis. And therefore, you'd be chayv in meiser Kiyos Rav Rav Yochanan Esrog Bashish Shviz Afilu Kazais V'Nasa Kikar Chayav No Mishum Tevel be Tevel means if he didn't give Trumas Meiser would be Tevel. Tana Rabbanan. Ilan Shachantu Peiros of Kodim Chamisha Sabishvat. You have a tree, and you could see its fruit budding prior to Tu B'Shvat. So Misaser L'Shana Shavra, it's considered in the prior fiscal year. You give Meiser from all the fruits in that year. If it budded Achar Chamisha B'Shvat, Misaser L'Shana Haba. It's included in the next fiscal year. Rav Nechemia B'Medvar Mamorim Be'ilon Sha'oisa Shtei Brechos B'Shana. That's a tree that has sort of two crops of fruit. They can't. It means it's like two brechos. But a fruit tree that gives one crop could go the kolim, the zaysim, charuvim, palm, olive, carob. Even they budded prior to Tu B'Shvat. Misashin l'shana haba. You give Meiser for the next year. Rav Yochanan, Nagu al Mecharuvin Kirab Nechemia, where they did it before. So what do you mean? Eitzvei Rish Lakish Rav Yochanan. The nois shuach, which is some type of fig, Shvi Shulahan Shnia. Their shvius would only, you would treat the fruit like Shemitah fruit only until the second year of the Shemitah cycle. Well, what's this all about? The fruit that buds, let's say in the 7th year, they're not going to finish until 3 years later, until the second year of the Shemitah cycle. And we go after Chanata. So therefore, since it was choyned, it budded in the Shemitah year, you got to treat the fruits in the second year of the Shemitah cycle, 3 years later. So it's not like the Baraisa said. Ishtik, was silent, didn't know what to say. Am I Ishtik? Why was he quiet? Emelei. I mean, Rav Nechemia. I was holding Rav Nechemia, which goes Basar Chanotov. Atamatli Rabbanon. Mishum do Amalei Shavkis Rabbanon Rav Nechemia. But because you say leave the seat of the Chacham and go to Rav Nechemia, Leimalei. Kaminalach Noagu. Not only that, over there it says minig. The Atamikli Isur, you say it's Nisr. The Armalei become Isur Kinagu Shav Kinalu in a place where it's Isur. They change the minig. Leimalei Ki Aminalach Ana Meiser Charuv and Rabbanon. I'm just talking about giving Meiser of Kereb, which is only rabbinic. The Atamikli Shviz Deraisa. You're not even required Minah Raisa to give Meiser for Kereb. And you're going to tell me, talk about Shvius Deraisa? I am surprised that Reish Lakish asked this strong kasha that had this kind of teretz. For the Gemara im Shiva, what do you mean? Would he have asked the question? He asked the question. Did Rav Yochanan accept what he said? Or maybe he didn't accept. And the reason why he was quiet, maybe he thought it's not a really good shaila. Okay. Tomorrow we will learn regular time, 8 o'clock. Johnny, we miss you.
Thank you.
We will do the Navi Shir in a week. We'll send information out.
Okay. So I emailed Susie and just expressed. We tried calling but couldn't get through. So
I forwarded
Okay.
the email to Susie. Thank you very much.
Okay. So thank you. Sure. Of Simchas.
Ernie, I left my tefillin
Okay.
on the table there outside. Okay, I'll get tonight.
No problem.
Okay, thanks. I
Bring
left
it
my
in.
tefillin.